much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I would like to thank the member Fisher for moving this motion and providing great opportunity for members to speak on such an important matter to Australia, cyber security. It's no surprise that most of Australia's economy is running off the internet, and most businesses rely on online transactions and communications. Although this is the future, it also makes us vulnerable to cyber attacks. Last financial year alone, Australian Signals Directorate and the Australian Cyber Security Centre received over 60,000 cybercrime reports. That's one every 8 minutes. And that's only those that were reported. In the last year, scams are estimated to have cost Australian businesses more than $143 million, at an average of $33,000 taken each time. Madam Deputy Speaker, there is no doubt that Australia risks many more cyber attacks in the future. Cyber attacks are low cost, hard to attribute, and can be done at any time, anywhere. Many of us have talked about sovereignty in territorial terms here in this place, but this is changing. Australians need to start the conversation about what it means for Australia to retain and protect its digital sovereignty. We need to protect our critical infrastructure to make sure that digital centres and our data are protected. And that's why, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Morrison government is investing $1.35 billion through the Australian Signals Directorate and the Australian Cyber Security Centre to keep Australians safer online. This is part of $15 billion the government is investing in cyber and defence capabilities. Madam Deputy Speaker, as I've said, cyber attacks are low cost and can happen any time. Anyone in Australia can become a target, whether it's our institutions, businesses or private citizens. In September this year, Stonnington City Council, in my electorate of Higgins, was hit by a cyber attack. The council drew on assistance from the Australian Cyber Security Centre following the attack and was able to continue operating essential services while it dealt with the outage. But this affects the services that governments deliver. It affects the services that businesses deliver. It undermines our privacy. This attack emphasises the warnings from ASIO that councils across Australia can be subjected to cyber attacks. So too are genetic digital data. It's stored in servers across Australia. We need to do more to protect our sovereign data, whether it's government, business or collated medical research data. Protecting it protects Australia's interest. Madam Deputy Speaker, the government is committed to tackling cybercrime, including through developing the next national plan to combat cybercrime, which will bring together the powers, capabilities, experience and intelligence of all jurisdictions to build a strong operational response to cybercrime harming Australians and Australia. Investing $1.6 billion through the cyber security strategy, introducing legislation to bolster the powers of the AFP. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. The government is committed to introducing legislation to bolster the powers of the AFP and Australian Criminal Intelligence Commission to identify individuals and their networks engaging in a serious criminal activity on the dark web. We also plan to introduce legislation to uplift the security and resilience of Australia's critical infrastructure and provide $6.1 million for support services through IDCARE to protect Australians online if they've been a victim of cybercrime. Madam Deputy Speaker, it's not only what governments can do, however. Cybersecurity requires a shared responsibility. It is vital that Australian businesses and organisations are alert to this threat and take the necessary steps to ensure ours and their digital data is safe. Ensure they are implementing good cyber practices, such as checking systems, making sure that their apps are updated and computer systems regularly are at the latest version, and installing any available security patches. We want them to be mindful of links sent to emails and other messaging systems. And we want multi-factor authentication to make sure there's an extra step between your valuable data, like your bank account, and getting a cyber attack hack. We want to use passphrases, not passwords, and we want you to keep a backup of your data off your network. Madam Deputy Speaker, I encourage all Australians to go to cyber.gov.au to find easy-to-follow guidelines on how to increase your cyber security online. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. I call the member for Hunter.